It was a cold and rainy night. The roads were wet. The sky was dark, with no stars. Only the sound of rain hitting the car windows filled the air. Emily gripped the steering wheel tightly. Her hands were shaking. Her eyes were red. She had been crying for the past hour. She had just left Jason's house. No, she had run out. They fought again. This time, it was worse. He shouted. He threw things. He said things he couldn't take back. Now, Emily was alone, driving fast down an unfamiliar road. Her phone kept buzzing on the seat next to her. She looked down. It was Jason calling. Again. She didn't pick up. Just stop, she whispered to herself, brushing away a tear. Just leave me alone. She didn't know where she was going. She just wanted to get away. Suddenly, her GPS lost signal. The map on the screen froze. Great, she mumbled. Rain poured harder. Visibility was low. In a panic, she took the next right turn. That was her mistake. The road was narrow. Trees surrounded both sides. There were no streetlights, no houses, no cars. Just her, the dark, and the rain. The car's engine started to cough. Then it stopped. No, 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 she turned the key, but nothing. The car was dead. Her phone showed no service. Now she was really alone. Emily sat in silence. Her heart was beating fast. Fear started to grow inside her. She opened the door slowly and stepped out. The cold wind hit her face. Her clothes were getting wet, but she didn't care. She looked around. There was nothing but trees and mud. And then, she heard something. Footsteps. Very slow. Coming from behind the trees. Hello, she called out, her voice shaking. Is someone there? No answer. Just silence, then more footsteps. She took a step back. Her breathing became faster. Her heart was racing. From the shadows, a man stepped out. He was tall, wearing a dark jacket and a cap. His face was half covered by the shadows. His eyes met hers. You shouldn't be here, he said calmly. Emily froze. My car broke down, she replied, her voice weak. There's no signal. I just need help. The man didn't speak for a moment. Then he pointed behind him. There's a cabin. Not far. You can wait there. Emily hesitated. Should she trust him? He was a stranger. This could be dangerous. But staying in the car in the middle of nowhere felt worse. She followed him. Slowly. Watching his every move. Her mind raced with questions. Who was he? What if he lied? What if she disappeared, and no one ever found her? After 10 minutes of walking through the woods, they reached a small wooden cabin. It looked old but warm. Light came from inside. The man opened the door. Come in, he said. Emily stepped inside. It smelled like wood and smoke. There was a fireplace, a chair, and a table. Simple. Clean. He handed her a towel and said, You're cold. Sit by the fire. She sat down, still silent. Still unsure. The man went to the kitchen and came back with a mug. Tea, he said. You look like you need it. Thanks, she whispered, taking it. They sat in silence. Only the sound of the fire filled the room. Finally, she asked, What's your name? Ryan, he said. And you? Emily. Ryan nodded. You're lucky I found you. This road, no one uses it. Not since the accident. What accident? She asked, confused. Ryan looked into the fire. Long story. Emily stared at him. There was something in his eyes. Sadness, maybe. Or a secret. She didn't know if she was safe. But for now, she was warm. And alive. Outside, the storm got worse. Wind hit the windows. The trees swayed like they were alive. Inside, Ryan sat quietly, watching the fire. Emily looked around the room. Then she noticed something on the wall. A photo. It was old, black and white. It showed Ryan, standing with a girl. A girl who looked just like her. Emily's heart skipped a beat. "Who is she?" she asked, pointing to the photo. Ryan turned his head slowly. He didn't answer. He stood up and walked to the door. "You should rest," he said. "You'll be safe here tonight." Then he stepped outside. Emily sat alone, staring at the photo. Something wasn't right. She came here by mistake. But now, it felt like she was meant to. Emily woke up to the sound of birds. The rain had stopped. Soft light came through the window. She was still on the couch, a blanket over her. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then she remembered the forest, the broken car, the stranger. She sat up quickly and looked around. The fire was still burning low. A hot cup of coffee waited on the table. She looked at the door. It was closed, but not locked. Ryan was nowhere in sight. Emily stood up and walked slowly to the photo on the wall, the one she had seen last night. It was still there. Ryan and a girl who looked just like her. Same eyes. Same smile. Same face. "Who is she?" she whispered. The door creaked open. She turned fast. Ryan stepped in, holding a basket of wood. He stopped when he saw her staring at the photo. "You look like her," he said, putting the wood down. Emily faced him. "Who is she?" He paused. "Someone I lost a long time ago." "Your sister?" He shook his head. "No. Your girlfriend." He looked away. "Something like that." Emily wanted to ask more, but something in his eyes stopped her. There was pain there. A deep kind of pain. She sat back down. "Thank you, for helping me." Ryan nodded. "You were lucky. Most people don't come down that road anymore." "Why not?" He poured himself some coffee. "It's a bad place. People say it's cursed." Emily gave a nervous laugh. "You believe in curses?" Ryan looked serious. "I believe in loss. And I believe this forest remembers things." Emily didn't know what to say. She sipped her coffee in silence. Then she asked, "Can I use your phone? I need to call someone." "No signal here," he said. "Closest place is 20 minutes by foot." Emily nodded. "Okay." Ryan looked at her. "Who do you need to call?" She hesitated. "My boyfriend." Ryan raised an eyebrow. "The one who made you cry?" Emily stayed quiet. Ryan stood up. "You can stay here today. The weather should be better tomorrow. Then you can leave." Emily looked out the window. The sky was still gray. The trees looked heavy and quiet. The kind of quiet that hides things. "Thanks," she said softly. Later that day, Emily walked outside. The air was fresh, but the forest still felt heavy. She followed a path behind the cabin. Just walking. Thinking. And then she saw something. A small wooden sign, half covered by leaves. It said, "In memory of Lily, 2014. Emily knelt down and touched the sign. It was old. Weathered. Who was Lily? Suddenly, she heard footsteps behind her. It was Ryan. "You shouldn't be here," he said again, but this time, his voice was softer. "Who's Lily?" Emily asked. He didn't answer. She stood up and faced him. "Is she the girl in the photo?" Ryan looked at the ground. "Yes." What happened to her? He took a deep breath. She died. Right here. People say it was an accident. But I know it wasn't. Emily felt a chill. How did she die? Ryan's jaw tightened. She trusted the wrong person. Emily's chest tightened. She thought about Jason. About the anger in his eyes. The way he grabbed her arm. The way he made her feel small. Do you think I'm like her? She asked. Ryan looked at her closely. I think you're stronger. They walked back in silence. That night, Emily couldn't sleep. The wind had started again. The forest made strange sounds. She sat up and looked around. The fire was out. The room was dark. Then she heard a whisper. A voice outside. She got up and went to the window. In the shadows, someone was standing near the trees. Her heart jumped. She squinted. It wasn't Ryan. The person was holding something, a flashlight. Emily opened the door slowly and stepped outside. Hello, she called out. The figure turned. The light hit his face. It was Jason. Emily, he shouted. You okay? I've been looking for you. She stood frozen. How did you find me? I followed your GPS history, he said. Your car showed your last location. She took a step back. You shouldn't be here. Jason looked confused. What do you mean? I'm here to take you home. Suddenly, Ryan appeared behind her. She's not going anywhere. Jason's face turned hard. Who the hell are you? Ryan stepped forward. Someone who's keeping her safe. Jason pushed past Emily. Emily, let's go. Now. She stood still. Her mind raced. Two men. Two choices. Jason, her past, her pain. Ryan, a stranger, a mystery, but he had never made her feel afraid. She had to decide. Emily stood between two men. Jason, the man she once loved, was pulling her arm. Ryan, the stranger who saved her, stood calm, eyes steady. Let go of me, Emily said softly, but clearly. Jason's grip tightened. We're going home. I don't know who this guy is, but this is crazy. Ryan stepped closer. She said let go. Jason looked at Ryan with angry eyes. Stay out of this. Emily pulled her arm free. You followed me, Jason. I didn't ask you to come. I was worried about you. Jason shouted. You disappeared. Emily looked into his eyes. You weren't worried. You were angry. Like always. Silence. Jason's mouth opened, but no words came out. He looked at her like he didn't know who she was anymore. I need space, Emily said. And you can't control that. Jason stared at her. Then, without another word, he turned and walked into the woods. Back inside the cabin, Emily sat by the fire. Her hands were cold. Her heart was heavy. Ryan gave her a blanket. You okay? She nodded. Yeah. I didn't expect to see him. You handled it, Ryan said. That takes strength. Emily looked at him. What really happened to Lily? Ryan stared into the fire. She trusted someone who didn't deserve it. He played with her heart. Hurt her. Then left her alone in this forest. Emily felt her chest tighten. And you? I found her too late. A long silence followed. Emily whispered, do you blame yourself? Ryan nodded once. Every day. The next morning, Emily walked deeper into the woods. She needed to think, to breathe. She followed a trail past trees and rocks until something caught her eye. It was a burned car. Old, rusted, covered in leaves. But what shocked her on the front seat was a bracelet. Her bracelet. The same one she had lost weeks ago. The same one Jason gave her. Her hands trembled as she picked it up. "How is this here?" she whispered. Then she heard footsteps. "Ryan. I shouldn't have let you come out alone," he said. She turned to him, holding the bracelet. "How is this here, Ryan?" "This is mine." Ryan looked surprised. He took the bracelet and stared at it. "This car, it was part of an accident," he said slowly. 5 years ago. The girl who died here, she wore a bracelet like this." Emily stepped back. "Are you saying I look like her and I have her things now?" "I don't know," Ryan said. "But this forest, it doesn't forget." Back at the cabin, Emily sat with the journal she found on a shelf. It was old, with a leather cover and worn pages. The name inside, Lily Grace Moore. She opened it. Page after page was about fear, love, pain. Then one entry stopped her heart. "He says he loves me, but when he's angry, he's not the same person. He scares me. I try to leave, but he always finds me." Emily's hands shook. It sounded exactly like her story. Like Jason. The final page said, "If something happens to me, I hope someone tells the truth. I wasn't crazy. I was just in love with the wrong man." That night, Emily couldn't sleep. She stared at the photo again. Lily's eyes stared back. She walked outside. The sky was clear now. Stars above. Silence in the woods. Then a voice. "Jason." "Emily," he said from the trees. "We need to talk." She turned slowly. "You followed me again." "I'm sorry," Jason said. "I didn't want to fight. I miss you." "You never loved me," Emily said. "You wanted to own me." Jason stepped forward. "That's not true." Ryan appeared behind her. "She asked you to leave." Jason's eyes turned sharp. "You think you're her hero? You don't know her like I do." "No," Ryan said. "But I don't hurt her. And I don't chase her through the woods." Jason pulled something from his jacket. A metal flashlight, heavy. Emily stepped between them. "Stop." Jason raised the flashlight toward Ryan. "Stay away from her." Emily shouted, "If you hit him, I'll scream. I'll tell the police." Jason froze. Then he dropped the flashlight. Tears filled his eyes. "You really don't love me." Emily's voice cracked. "I did. But that girl is gone." Jason backed away. Into the dark. Without a word, he disappeared. Ryan picked up the flashlight. "Are you okay?" Emily nodded slowly. "I think. I just closed a chapter." Inside the cabin, Emily wrote her own note in Lily's journal. "You weren't crazy. You were just brave. I wish someone helped you sooner. But I hear you now. And I won't let history repeat itself." She closed the book and placed it on the shelf. Then she looked at Ryan. "You said this forest remembers. Maybe it does. Maybe it brought me here, for a reason." Ryan smiled. "Maybe it brought both of us back to life." The forest was quiet again. For the first time in days, Emily felt calm. The fear, the confusion, the running, it was starting to fade. But something still didn't feel right. She kept thinking about the burned car. The bracelet. Lily. And the way Ryan looked at that photo. That morning, Emily sat outside the cabin, staring at the trees. Ryan joined her with 2 cups of coffee. "Sleep okay?" he asked. "Better," she said. "But I keep thinking. About Lily. About everything." Ryan nodded. "I've thought about her every day for 5 years." Emily looked at him. "Can I ask you something?" "Anything." "Why were you in prison?" Ryan froze. He looked down, then said, "People thought I hurt Lily. That I killed her." Emily's eyes widened. "Did you?" she asked, her voice quiet. Ryan shook his head. "No. But I was the last person seen with her. She left a party. I followed her because she was drunk. I tried to protect her, but..." He paused. "She ran into the forest. That's the last time I saw her." "What happened after that?" "The police found her body near the river. They found my jacket close by. That was enough. I went to prison." Emily stared at him. "How did you get out?" "New evidence. Someone confessed. A man Lily had been messaging. But by then, 2 years had passed." Emily looked away, her heart heavy. "I'm sorry." Ryan shrugged. "I lost everything. But I came back here, because I didn't know where else to go." Emily said nothing. She could feel his pain. It wasn't fake. It wasn't a show. This man was broken but honest. Later that day, Emily walked into town with Ryan. They reached a small police station to report Jason's behavior. The officer was kind. He listened carefully. When Emily mentioned the cabin and the burned car, his eyes changed. "You said you found a bracelet in that car?" he asked. "Yes." "Can you show me?" Ryan and Emily nodded. The officer followed them to the woods. When they arrived, something was wrong. The burned car was gone. Vanished. All that was left was a patch of disturbed dirt. Emily gasped. "It was right here." The officer looked at her, then at Ryan. "I swear," Emily said. "It was right here. My bracelet was inside." The officer gave a slow nod. "We'll look into it. But be careful. People in this area don't like outsiders digging up the past." Ryan's face turned cold. "The truth isn't the past." The officer didn't answer. He left soon after. Emily looked at Ryan. "Why would someone move the car?" "Because it had proof," Ryan said. "Someone doesn't want it found." Back at the cabin, Emily searched the bookshelf again. She pulled out Lily's journal, but this time, something fell from between the pages. A photo. It showed Lily, with Jason. Emily's hands shook. "What is this?" Ryan looked over. "That's Jason." "But how?" "He said he didn't know her." Ryan took the photo and flipped it over. Words were written on the back. "J+L forever, even if it kills us." Emily dropped the photo. Her mind raced. Jason had lied. He did know Lily. And if this photo was real, he might have been the one who hurt her. That night, Ryan locked the cabin door. He checked the windows twice. Emily sat near the fire, holding Lily's journal like it was a shield. "What if Jason came here to finish what he started?" she asked. Ryan nodded. "That's why we need to be ready." Emily whispered, "This isn't just about me. He's been doing this for years." Ryan's voice was calm. "And now, we have something he didn't expect." "What's that?" "You." Just after midnight, Emily heard a noise outside. Footsteps. Slow. Careful. She grabbed Ryan's arm. He nodded. They waited. Then a knock. Soft. Then louder. Emily stepped forward. "Who is it?" A voice, "Police." Ryan shook his head. "No one called them." Emily opened the small window curtain. It was Jason, wearing a stolen police jacket. Her blood went cold. She backed away. "It's him." Ryan moved quickly. Locked the door again. Grabbed a heavy piece of wood. Jason's voice from outside, "Emily. You don't have to be scared. Let's talk." She yelled, "Go away." Jason slammed the door. I'll come in if I have to. Emily turned to Ryan. We need to stop him. We need proof. Ryan's eyes lit up. The journal. Emily quickly grabbed Lily's journal and the photo. Ryan said, "You run. I'll hold him off." "No," Emily said. "We finish this together." Jason kept banging on the cabin door. "Emily," he shouted. "Open the door. You're making a big mistake." Inside, Emily stood with Lily's journal in her hands. Her heart pounded. Her fingers shook, but her eyes were strong. Ryan looked at her. "He's not going to stop." "No," Emily said. "But neither am I." She walked to the back window and opened it just a little. Enough to speak, enough to be heard. "Jason," she shouted, "I know everything." The banging stopped. "I know about Lily. I found the photo. I read her journal. You lied to me. Just like you lied to her." There was silence outside. Then Jason's voice came back lower, colder. "You don't know what you're talking about." "She was scared of you," Emily continued. "She tried to leave. Just like me." Still silence. Then Jason's voice cracked. "She promised me. She said we'd be together forever." Emily felt a tear run down her cheek. "She was 19, she whispered. "You ruined her life. You tried to ruin mine too." Jason suddenly kicked the door. Hard. It cracked. Ryan stood in front of Emily, ready. "We have to do something," she whispered. "We will," Ryan said. He handed her his phone. "There's no signal out here, but the voice recorder works." Emily pressed record and held it close to the window. Jason was pacing outside, talking to himself. Loud enough to be heard. "She left me. Just like you're trying to do now. But I never meant to hurt her. I just lost control." He laughed, bitter and broken. "You think anyone will believe you? You were crying in the woods. You ran to some stranger. You're crazy just like her." Emily whispered, "That's enough." She stopped recording. Then, from behind the tree's headlights, a police car. Jason turned around, confused. "What the?" Two officers got out. "Hands in the air," one shouted. "Now." Jason froze, then tried to run. But Ryan was faster. He tackled him before he could disappear into the woods. The officers cuffed Jason. Emily stepped outside, shaking but strong. She handed them the phone. He confessed. "It's all here." One officer nodded. "We've been watching him for a while. We just needed proof." Emily looked at Ryan. "We got it." Hours later. The sun began to rise. Emily and Ryan sat on the porch, side by side. The air was cool. The sky soft pink and orange. "You okay?" Ryan asked. Emily nodded. "Yeah. I think I finally am." She held Lily's journal in her lap. "They'll never forget what he did to her," she said. "But now, everyone will know the truth." Ryan looked at her with quiet pride. "You were brave." Emily smiled. "So were you." Weeks passed. Jason was charged. The police opened Lily's case again. Ryan's name was finally cleared in public, this time. Emily moved back to the city for a while. She needed space, time. But she didn't forget the forest. She didn't forget the stranger who helped her become strong again. 3 months later. Emily returned to the cabin. This time, not lost. Not running. She brought fresh flowers for Lily's memorial. She placed them gently on the ground and whispered, "I heard you. I listened. And I'm still here." Behind her, footsteps. "Ryan. You came back," he said. "I told myself I would, She smiled. I needed to say thank you. For Lily. For me. They walked together through the trees. No fear this time. Just peace. Do you ever think, Emily asked, that we weren't meant to meet, but we had to? Ryan nodded. Sometimes the wrong road leads you to the right place. Emily took his hand. Her mistake almost ended her life. But it also saved it. Because sometimes, love doesn't come like a fairy tale. Sometimes, it finds you when you're lost. Sometimes, it starts with fear. And ends with truth.